So what if the key to unlocking peak performance wasn't about more pressure, but about more happiness? I know, might sound a little fluffy, but today we're going to dive into a scientifically backed model that shows a direct link between well-being and just amazing results in the workplace. Let's get into it.
And hey, this isn't just some feel-good idea we pulled out of thin air. The whole framework is called Happywise, and it's built on some really solid research from the University of Michigan Center for Positive Organizations. So, this stuff is grounded in real data.
All right, here's a quick look at our roadmap. First, we'll talk about the happiness advantage, then break down 4 key leadership levers. After that, we'll connect it to the science, see how to put it all into practice, and wrap up with leading with purpose. So, first things first, why should any leader even care about happiness? I mean, really, this section gets right to the heart of that question.
This, right here, is the crucial point that everything else is built on. It's not a one-way street, you see. Well-being doesn't just make people feel good. It actually actively boosts their performance. And get this, high performance can, in turn, make us feel better. They're locked together in this powerful, positive loop.
And you can see the results in the numbers. When organizations really invest in a positive environment, they see clear business wins, more productivity, higher engagement, and way lower turnover, which, means you get to keep your best people. This isn't just a nice to have, it is a massive strategic advantage.
Okay, so if that's the goal, how do you actually get there as a leader? Well, the model gives us 4 very specific levers we can pull. Let's break them down. So the 4 levers are climate, relationships, communication, and meaning. Now, each one is distinct, but they're all designed to work together, creating this system that just keeps reinforcing itself.
Let's start with positive climate. Think of this as the emotional weather in your organization. Is it a place where people feel safe to take risks, where forgiveness is practiced instead of blame, where gratitude is actually, expressed out loud? Building this kind of climate doesn't just lower stress, it makes the whole organization way more resilient when things get tough.
Next up, positive relationships. This is a really cool one. It introduces this idea of positive energizers. You know those people who just naturally lift everyone else up? A positive leader doesn't just hope they exist. They actively find these people and build networks around them to totally supercharge collaboration.
The third lever is all about positive communication. This means being incredibly intentional with your language. It's about focusing on what's working, what our strengths are, and making sure that the ratio of positive to negative feedback is, heavily tilted towards the positive. Now, this isn't about avoiding tough conversations. It's about building a foundation of trust that makes those conversations actually productive.
And the final lever, positive meaning. This one might just be the most powerful. It's the leader's job to connect the dots between someone's day-to-day tasks and the bigger picture. When people feel like their work actually matters, that has a real impact, their commitment just goes through the roof. Okay, so we've looked at the leadership model. Now let's connect it to the broader science of well-being, which kind of reframes the leader's role in a really fascinating way. So, check out this powerful idea. Thinking of a leader as a Chief Happiness Officer, or CHO. Their main job is to weave together those 4 levers we just talked about with the basic principles of what makes us humans thrive.
And these are the scientific pillars the CHO builds everything on. Plus US is all about relationships and social impact. Plus being is about that sweet spot where who you are aligns with what you do. Plus discipline refers to the systems like regular feedback that actually support well-being. And finally, plus positive chemistry is about actively managing the team's emotional state with things like validation and recognition.
And the payoff for all this? Oh, it's huge. When a leader pulls this off, they don't just get happier employees. They get a team with more mental energy for focus, more emotional energy for trust, more physical energy from less stress, and that spiritual energy that comes from a real sense of purpose. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? This section is all about the practical tools you can start using like tomorrow.
So, the first tool is the good old one-to-one meeting, but when you do it right, it is unbelievably powerful. These regular, dedicated check-ins are absolutely crucial for making sure roles are clear, for supporting growth with constant feedback, and honestly, for making everyone more efficient by cutting down on all those random interruptions.
Now, the second tool challenges a concept we all know, SMART goals. Look, they're great for making sure things get done, but this framework introduces a much more inspiring alternative, Everest objectives. And the difference is huge. While SMART goals are about solving problems, Everest goals are about generating energy. They focus on excellence and creating value for other people.
So here are the 5 qualities that make an objective an Everest objective. They're positive and affirmative. They focus on strengths and opportunities. They have intrinsic value, meaning the journey itself is rewarding. They're all about contributing to others, not just personal gain. And because of all that, they are just naturally energizing. People don't need to be pushed to chase them. They are pulled.
All right, so as we bring this all together, let's nail down the single most important takeaway.
If there's one thing you walk away with, let it be this. Positive leadership is not a soft skill. It's not just about being nice. It is a concrete, actionable model backed by solid research for building a high-performing, resilient, and genuinely energized organization.
And that leaves us with one last question for you to think about. Take a look at the goals you set for yourself and for your team, and ask yourself, honestly, are they just SMART or are they Everest?